Good evening, I'm Ivana Smith, and tonight, one number is making headlines around the world. Brent crude oil has just crossed $100 a barrel. Now, you might be wondering, what does that actually mean for me? Tonight, we explain exactly that. No jargon, no complicated economics. Just the facts and what they mean for your everyday life. Let's start with the basics. Brent crude is the global benchmark for oil prices. Think of it as the reference point that the entire world uses when buying and selling oil. When that number goes up, fuel gets more expensive at the pump. And when fuel gets more expensive, so does almost everything else in your life. We will get to that in a moment. But first, how did we get here? How does oil go from $60, $70, $80 all the way past $100? The answer is not one single event. It is a combination of factors that have been building for months. And tonight, they all came together. The first factor is production. There is a group called OPEC+. It includes some of the world's biggest oil-producing nations, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Iraq, and others. Russia is also part of this group. Together, they control a very large share of the world's oil supply. And over the past year, this group has been producing less oil than the market needs. Why? Because lower supply means higher prices. And higher prices mean more revenue for these countries. It is a deliberate decision, and it has a very real impact on what you pay at the gas station. The second factor is geopolitical tension. When there is instability in major oil-producing regions, prices tend to rise. Investors and traders get nervous. They worry about supply disruptions. That nervousness gets priced into the market. We have seen ongoing tensions in the Middle East, continued uncertainty around the war in Ukraine, and diplomatic friction between major world powers. None of these situations have been fully resolved, and markets are reacting to that uncertainty every single day. The third factor is demand. After years of slowdowns and disruptions, the global economy has been picking up pace. More factories running, more flights in the air, more goods being shipped across oceans. All of that requires energy, and a significant portion of that energy still comes from oil. When demand rises and supply stays tight, the price goes in one direction, up. Now, let's talk about what this actually means for you, because a $100 barrel of oil is not just a number on a trading screen. It comes to your gas station. It shows up in your grocery bill. It affects your heating costs. And here is why. Think about how the things you buy every day get to you. The vegetables in your supermarket were transported by truck. The clothes you wear were shipped across an ocean. The package you ordered online was delivered to your door by a van. All of those vehicles run on fuel. When the cost of fuel goes up, the cost of moving goods goes up. And when the cost of moving goods goes up, businesses pass that cost on to you, the consumer. This is what economists call energy-driven inflation. And right now, households around the world are feeling it. It is not just transportation either. Fuel costs affect agriculture. Farmers use fuel to run their equipment. They use it to heat their greenhouses. When their costs go up, food prices go up. It affects manufacturing. It affects construction. It touches almost every part of the economy in one way or another. That is why an oil price milestone like tonight's matters far beyond the energy sector. So what are governments doing about it? The honest answer is their options are limited in the short term. Oil is a global commodity. No single government controls its price. But there are tools available. Some countries are considering releasing oil from their strategic reserves, essentially tapping into emergency stockpiles to increase supply and bring prices down. Others are looking at temporary reductions in fuel taxes to give consumers some relief at the pump. A few central banks are factoring higher energy costs into their inflation forecasts and adjusting policy accordingly. But these are short-term measures. They can take the edge off. They cannot fix the underlying problem. The longer-term solution, and most energy experts agree on this, is reducing our dependence on oil altogether. Renewable energy sources like solar and wind are becoming cheaper and more widely available every year. Electric vehicles are slowly but steadily becoming a more realistic option for more people. Energy efficiency improvements in buildings, factories, and transportation can significantly reduce how much oil we actually need. These transitions are already happening, but they take time. They require investment, and they require political will. In the meantime, families are dealing with higher prices today, not in 10 years, right now. It is also worth noting that the impact of high oil prices is not felt equally. For lower-income households, fuel and food take up a much larger share of the budget. A 10 or 20% increase in energy costs hits them significantly harder than it hits someone with a higher income. That is a reality that policymakers cannot afford to ignore. There is also a broader economic concern. When energy prices stay high for an extended period, they can slow down economic growth. Businesses face higher operating costs. Consumers have less money to spend on other things. In some cases, sustained high oil prices have contributed to recessions in the past. Economists will be watching very closely significantly in the weeks and months ahead. So where does this leave us tonight? Brent crude is above $100. Production remains constrained. Geopolitical tensions show no sign of fading, and global demand continues to recover. The conditions that pushed oil to this level have not gone away, which means this story is far from over. What we do know is this: energy is not just an economic issue. It is a daily reality for billions of people around the world. Every time you fill up your tank, pay your electricity bill, or buy groceries, you are connected to these global forces, whether you realize it or not. Tonight's headline is a reminder of just how much the price of a single commodity can ripple through every corner of our lives. We will continue to follow this story and bring you the latest developments as they happen, because this number $100 is not just a milestone, it is a signal, and it deserves our full attention. I'm Ivana Smith. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.